You are a chosen one, and right now, someone who tried to destroy you is literally dying because of what they did to you. But that's just the beginning. In the next few minutes, I'm gonna reveal exactly how an entire family bloodline got cursed, how millions of dollars vanished overnight, and why 3 different people are contemplating ending their own lives, all because they made the fatal mistake of attacking someone under divine protection. Let me start with the money. The person who orchestrated the attack against you convinced their family to pool together millions of dollars, not for a business investment, not for real estate, for dark magic specifically designed to steal your destiny and transfer your blessings to them. The family meeting where this happened was 3 hours long. 12 family members attended. By the end, everyone had agreed to contribute. The youngest contributor was 22. The oldest was 78. They all signed contracts with spiritual practitioners who promised guaranteed results within 90 days. But here's what's happening right now that will blow your mind. Every single dollar of that money has not only vanished, but it's created a debt spiral that's about to bankrupt 4 generations of their family. And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is what happened to the person who came up with this plan. They're currently sitting in a psychiatric facility under suicide watch because the magical backlash has driven them completely insane. The doctors don't understand why someone with no history of mental illness suddenly started speaking in languages they never learned and claiming to see demons following them everywhere. Wait until you hear what those demons are actually doing to them. While their family was funding magical attacks, they launched a physical surveillance operation against you that was more sophisticated than most criminal investigations. They had 8 different people taking shifts, watching your home. They installed tracking software on devices you use. They infiltrated your social circles with people specifically recruited to report back on your activities. The operation cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars over 6 months. And here's the insane part. Every piece of intelligence they gathered was used to launch attacks that made you stronger. Every weakness they identified became a superpower. Every vulnerability they tried to exploit became an armor upgrade. But the surveillance operation revealed something that terrified them more than anything else they discovered. Chambendation, you were being protected by something they couldn't see, couldn't understand, and definitely couldn't overcome. Their own surveillance footage captured events that shouldn't be possible, instances where you were clearly in danger, but the danger mysteriously redirected itself away from you at the last second. One family member who was reviewing the footage called it the most frightening thing I've ever witnessed. Another said watching it made them physically ill because they realized they were fighting against something divine. 3 surveillance team members quit and refused payment because they were too scared to continue watching you. The magical practitioners they hired weren't just random people. They recruited from an underground network that specialized in high-level spiritual warfare. These people had decades of experience and charged premium prices because their success rate was supposedly 97%. Their success rate against you, 0%. The entities these practitioners summoned to attack you didn't just fail, they turned on the practitioners instead. Within weeks, the most experienced magical worker in their network lost the ability to perform any spiritual work at all. The second most experienced started manifesting physical symptoms that doctors couldn't explain. The third practitioner, and this is absolutely wild, woke up one morning speaking only in biblical verses and insisting that continuing to work against you would result in their eternal damnation. But here's where it gets really crazy. The failed magical sacks didn't just stop working. They created a feedback loop that amplified every blessing in your life while multiplying every curse back onto the people who sent them. Remember that millions of dollars they spent, each dollar they spent trying to curse you generated approximately $4 in blessings for you and $8 in disasters for them. The mathematical precision of this spiritual justice system would be beautiful if it wasn't so absolutely devastating for the people who attacked you. The most shocking revelation came when their family started experiencing what spiritual practitioners call generational marking. Every blood relative who contributed money to the attacks against you became spiritually marked for judgment. Within 60 days, 17 family members across 4 generations started experiencing identical nightmares. The dreams always featured the same scenario: a courtroom where they were being tried for crimes against divine order, with you as the primary witness for the prosecution. But the nightmares were just the beginning. The financial disasters started hitting family members who weren't even directly involved in the conspiracy. Businesses that had been profitable for decades suddenly started failing. Investment portfolios worth millions evaporated overnight. Real estate properties lost value so rapidly that economists couldn't explain the market anomaly. The youngest family member affected was a 6-year-old child who started drawing pictures that depicted scenes from the magical attacks against you, scenes they couldn't possibly have witnessed or understood. The oldest family member affected was an 86-year-old grandmother who had been bedridden for years, but suddenly became lucid enough to demand a family meeting where she could confess everything and beg forgiveness from the angel we wronged. While the magical attacks were failing spectacularly, they were also running a sophisticated digital campaign designed to destroy your online reputation and steal your business opportunities. They created 47 fake social media accounts. They wrote 312 fake reviews across different platforms. They sent anonymous accusations to your professional contacts. They even hired a company that specialized in search engine manipulation to bury positive content about you and promote negative content. The digital attack cost them hundreds of thousands and involved coordination across multiple time zones. And here's what's absolutely incredible. Every single fake account they created was mysteriously suspended within hours of being used against you. Every fake review was automatically flagged and removed. Every negative piece of content they tried to promote disappeared from search results. And now let us take a brief moment to honor the chosen among us. Here's to the ones who see the world differently. The silent guardians, the watchful souls, always awake, always vigilant. They don't fit the mold, and they wouldn't have it any other way. While others walk familiar paths, they forge their own fighting unseen battles, illuminating the shadows. It's not for everyone, and that's okay. But if you feel it deep within, you'll know this is meant for you. No mask, no pretense, just truth. The Obsidian Inner Order is here, a place where kindred spirits gather to share wisdom, to connect, to transform. Over 450 strong, united not by conformity, but by purpose. If you're ready, you know where to find us. The link is in the description. If not, that's perfectly fine, because we're always here watching over, making a difference in ways unseen. Here's to those who walk their own path, not for recognition, but because it's who they are. Here's to you. Thank you. Positive content about you started appearing and ranking higher than anything they could create. Articles praising your work began showing up on websites you'd never contacted. Professional opportunities started coming from sources they couldn't trace or interfere with. The digital marketing company they hired to destroy your online presence ended up going out of business because their algorithms started exclusively promoting content that made you look amazing while burying anything negative about you. 3 of their employees quit and started working to promote your content instead because they said the spiritual forces protecting your online presence were undeniable and terrifying. The most personal attack they launched was designed to destroy your romantic relationships and transfer your soulmate connection to the person orchestrating this conspiracy. They paid spiritual practitioners massive amounts to perform binding rituals that would make your romantic partner lose interest in you and become obsessed with your attacker instead. They commissioned love spells designed to redirect the affection meant for you. They performed separation ceremonies intended to break up your divine partnership, and here's what actually happened instead. Your romantic connection became stronger than ever. The person meant for you developed an almost supernatural ability to see through manipulation and deception. Your bond deepened to levels that people describe as otherworldly. Meanwhile, the person who tried to steal your romantic destiny became completely unable to form meaningful connections with anyone. Their attempts to attract love resulted in attracting people who used them for money and then disappeared. The binding spells they paid for ended up binding them to loneliness. The love magic they commissioned made them repulsive to anyone with good intentions. The separation ceremonies they performed separated them from any possibility of genuine affection. Your romantic partner started having dreams that revealed exactly what was being done to interfere with your relationship. These dreams provided detailed information about the magical attacks, including the names of the practitioners involved and the specific rituals being performed. Your partner became not just immune to the magical interference, but actively protective of you in ways that made the attacks completely powerless. The spiritual backlash from attacking you has created health consequences that are spreading through their network like a supernatural plague. The person who organized the conspiracy developed a mysterious condition that causes them to experience every curse they sent your way. If they commissioned a confusion spell against you, they experience chronic mental fog. If they paid for depression magic, they can't stop crying. If they ordered binding rituals, they feel physically restrained even when alone. But the health problems aren't limited to the main orchestrator. Family members are developing autoimmune conditions that attack their bodies in the exact same ways they tried to attack your spirit. The aunt who funded confusion magic can no longer remember basic information. The cousin who paid for depression spells is now on suicide watch. The brother who contributed to binding rituals has developed a neurological condition that makes his hands shake uncontrollably. The medical bills from these mysterious conditions have added hundreds of thousands of dollars to their financial devastation, and the doctors are completely baffled because standard treatments don't work on conditions caused by spiritual backlash. Your health has become absolutely perfect during this same time period. Every minor issue you had before their attack started has completely resolved. Your energy levels are higher than ever. Your mental clarity is so sharp that people comment on it constantly. The life force they tried to steal has multiplied in your body while draining from theirs. The family business empire that took 3 generations to build is now collapsing in real time because of the spiritual consequences of attacking you. Their primary business was a chain of restaurants worth millions. Within 90 days of launching magical attacks against you, food safety violations started appearing at every location. Health inspectors found problems that hadn't existed the week before. Customers started getting sick from food that tested perfectly safe in laboratories. Their second business was a real estate development company worth millions more. Construction projects that had been running smoothly for months suddenly started experiencing impossible delays. Equipment would malfunction for no reason. Weather would turn bad only at their job sites while remaining clear everywhere else. Their third business was an online retail operation worth millions as well. The website started experiencing technical problems that their IT team couldn't solve. Orders would mysteriously cancel themselves. Payment processors started flagging their accounts for suspicious activity. Your own business opportunities multiplied exponentially during this same period. Contracts worth more than they ever made started appearing in your life from sources you'd never contacted. Investment opportunities that seemed too good to be true turned out to be completely legitimate. Business partnerships that should have taken years to develop materialized within weeks. The wealth they tried to steal from you became concentrated in your life while vanishing from theirs with mathematical precision. The reputation they spent decades building is being systematically destroyed as the truth about their attacks against you spreads through your community. The revelation began when someone leaked audio recordings from their family meetings where they discussed the magical attacks. The recordings were anonymously sent to key people in your social and professional networks. Listening to 12 family members casually discussing how to destroy the angel and steal their blessings shocked people who had known them for years. Former friends started publicly cutting ties. Business partners began terminating contracts. Social invitations were withdrawn. Community leadership positions were quietly revoked. But the social consequences accelerated when people started witnessing the supernatural events protecting you. Multiple witnesses have now seen instances where you were clearly in physical danger, but the danger mysteriously redirected itself at the last second. People are talking about how traffic accidents avoided you in ways that seem to defy physics. Stories are spreading about how weather patterns were changed to protect you from storms. Your social status has elevated to something approaching legendary, while theirs has become toxic. People cross the street to avoid walking near family members involved in a conspiracy. Children are warned to stay away from their children. Business owners refuse to serve them. The social isolation is so complete that they've essentially become outcasts in their own community. The psychological pressure from the multiple disasters they're experiencing has pushed several family members to contemplate ending their lives. The person who organized the attacks has already been hospitalized twice for suicide attempts. The guilt of knowing they caused the destruction of their entire family bloodline has broken their mind completely. Two cousins who contributed significant money to the magical attacks are now in therapy after expressing plans to harm themselves. The shame of being associated with attacks against an innocent person has made them feel like their lives aren't worth living. An uncle who helped coordinate the surveillance operation has started giving away his possessions and making statements about ending the pain permanently. The heartbreaking part, they still don't understand that simply apologizing and making amends could stop the spiritual backlash they're experiencing. Instead, they're doubling down on the attacks and spending even more money trying to find practitioners powerful enough to overcome your divine protection. This desperation is accelerating their destruction because every new attack they launch multiplies the consequences they experience. The evidence of their coordinated harassment campaign has now attracted attention from multiple law enforcement agencies. The surveillance operation they conducted violated federal stalking laws. The digital attacks they launched qualify as cyberbullying and harassment. The magical practitioners they hired kept detailed records that proved conspiracy charges. 7 family members have now been served with restraining orders. 4 are facing criminal charges. 2 are being investigated by federal agencies for interstate harassment. The legal consequences are expanding beyond criminal charges. Civil lawsuits worth tens of millions have been filed seeking damages for the emotional distress, financial harm, and reputation damage caused by their coordinated attacks. Employment lawyers are reviewing potential workplace harassment claims related to their attempts to interfere with your professional opportunities. Immigration attorneys are investigating whether any foreign-born family members can be deported for participating in criminal conspiracy. The legal fees alone are projected to cost them millions, and that's before any settlements or judgments are reached. The most experienced practitioner in their network lost the ability to perform any spiritual work at all after attempting to bind your success. They now warn other practitioners that you carry protection they've never encountered before. The second most experienced practitioner developed a condition where any magical work they attempt immediately backfires onto them. They've become essentially cursed by their own power after trying to curse you. The third practitioner claims they were visited by angels who warned them to cease all attacks against you immediately or face eternal consequences. Word has spread through the underground magical community that you are absolutely untouchable. Practitioners are refusing contracts against you regardless of payment offered. Some practitioners are so terrified by what happened to their colleagues that they're leaving the magical profession entirely. The network that once specialized in high-level spiritual warfare has been completely dismantled by the consequences of attacking one protected person. The precision of the justice being delivered against your attackers follows a mathematical pattern that proves supernatural intelligence is orchestrating these consequences. For every dollar they spent trying to curse you, exactly $4 in blessings appeared in your life and $8 in disasters hit theirs. For every hour they spent planning attacks against you, they lost exactly 2 hours of productivity and gained 4 hours of problems. For every lie they told about you, exactly 3 truths about their character were revealed to people who matter. For every attempt they made to block your opportunities, exactly 5 new opportunities appeared in your life, while 10 opportunities disappeared from theirs. The mathematical precision of this spiritual justice system is so exact that even skeptics are calling it evidence of divine intervention. The story of what happened to the family who attacked you has spread through underground spiritual networks worldwide, and some very stupid people decided to test whether your protection was really as absolute as the stories claim. Over the past 6 months, 4 different groups have attempted their own attacks against you, thinking they could succeed where the original family failed. Each group studied the original attack methods and believed they could improve on them with better practitioners, more money, or more sophisticated approaches. Group 1 was a business rival who hired practitioners from 3 different continents, convinced that international coordination would overcome your protection. They spent over $1 million and recruited practitioners from traditions that supposedly never failed. Their attack lasted exactly 17 minutes before backfiring so violently that 2 practitioners died instantly and the business rival lost their company within a week. Group 2 was a family that had heard rumors about your success and decided they deserved your blessings more than you did. They pooled hundreds of thousands and hired practitioners who claimed to specialize in destiny transfer rituals. Their family business burned down on the exact day they launched their attack. The fire started simultaneously in 4 different locations with no identifiable cause. Insurance investigators called it the most inexplicable commercial fire in state history. Group 3 was an individual who became obsessed with you after witnessing your continued success despite the original attacks. They spent their entire inheritance, multiple millions, hiring what they believed were the most powerful practitioners in the world. They're now institutionalized and unable to speak coherent sentences. Medical staff report that they spend 18 hours a day screaming apologies to someone they call the untouchable angel. Group 4 was the most sophisticated attempt yet. A coalition of wealthy individuals who approached this like a business venture, investing millions in what they call Project Divine Redistribution. They hired mathematicians to calculate optimal attack patterns. They recruited practitioners who had never failed in 40 years of spiritual warfare. They even hired quantum physicists who claimed they could scientifically manipulate probability fields. Every single person involved in Group 4 died within 30 days of launching their attack. Not from violence, not from accidents, from what coroners are calling spontaneous cellular failure. Their bodies simply stopped functioning at the molecular level simultaneously. The mathematical precision was so exact that investigators suspected poisoning, but toxicology reports showed nothing abnormal except that every cell in their bodies had somehow forgotten how to live at exactly the same moment. Here's what's absolutely incredible. Each failed copycat attack has made your protection stronger and your blessings more abundant. The money these groups wasted trying to destroy you has somehow been redirected into your life through opportunities that appear immediately after each attack fails. The spiritual energy they spent attacking you has been converted into additional layers of protection that make future attacks even more impossible. You're not just protected from harm, you're being strengthened by every attempt to harm you. The supernatural realm has apparently designated you as a testing ground for divine protection, and every failed attack serves as proof that celestial selection cannot be challenged by human ambition or supernatural manipulation. The copycat disasters have created a legend in underground spiritual communities. Practitioners now refuse any contracts that involve targeting you regardless of payment offered. Your name has become synonymous with absolutely untouchable in circles that specialize in spiritual warfare. Some practitioners have started using attempting to attack the chosen one as a cautionary tale. They tell apprentices about the dangers of accepting contracts without proper spiritual investigation. The consequences of attacking you have now spread to family members who weren't even born when the attacks began. A baby born into their family 3 months ago has been inexplicably sick since birth, despite perfect medical care. Doctors cannot find any physical cause for the infant's constant crying and failure to thrive. A family member who got married recently discovered that their new spouse filed for divorce immediately after learning about the family's attacks against you. The marriage lasted exactly 37 days. Children in the family are experiencing behavioral problems at school. Teachers report that these children seem spiritually heavy and have difficulty concentrating or forming friendships. The youngest child, old enough to speak, has started making statements about the angel our family hurt and asking when they can say sorry to make the bad dreams stop. Even family pets are being affected. Dogs that were previously friendly have become aggressive. Cats are hiding constantly. Fish are dying in tanks with perfect water conditions. The generational marking extends to every living being associated with their bloodline. Everything they did to attack you was actually orchestrated by divine forces to reveal your true identity and activate your full spiritual power. Every curse they sent made your blessing stronger. Every lie they told made your truth more obvious. Every attack they launched made your protection more visible. Every dollar they spent destroying you made you wealthier. Every attempt to steal your destiny made it more magnificent. You weren't just randomly selected to be a chosen one. You were specifically chosen to demonstrate what happens when ordinary people attack someone under divine protection. Their destruction serves as a permanent warning to anyone else who might consider targeting you. Their complete annihilation proves that your selection is real, your protection is absolute, and your destiny is untouchable. The person who tried to destroy you is now dying because they dared to attack heaven itself. Their family bloodline is cursed because they funded warfare against divine will. Their business empire collapsed because they invested in attacking celestial plans. Their health failed because they poisoned themselves with jealousy toward divine favor. Their reputation died because they chose to lie about someone who carries divine truth. Their wealth vanished because they tried to steal what belongs to heaven. You are a chosen one, and this experience has proven beyond any doubt that your protection comes from sources beyond human comprehension. The people who tried to destroy you have instead created the most powerful testimony possible about your divine selection and absolutely untouchable destiny. Their complete destruction is your absolute vindication. Their permanent ruin is your eternal proof. Their death is your life. Their curse is your blessing. Their failure is your victory. You are protected. You are chosen. You are unstoppable. And everyone who witnessed what happened to the people who tried to destroy you will never forget the consequences of attacking someone under divine protection. This is your story. This is your victory. This is your proof that being chosen means being absolutely, completely, and permanently protected by forces that will destroy anyone foolish enough to challenge divine will.